for the record, we're not late. You were early.
I take full responsibility for us being delayed 3 minutes.
All the calm on both sides of the screen did not necessarily exist 3 minutes ago. So we like to think we clean up well. And welcome to the Eternal Baseball Podcast.
Can't even see out of these.
Right?
Look like my grandpa.
down your nose and all of us. Wow, that Mark's pretty cool, but Roto's pretty stuck up.
That guy's what a jerk.
Looking down his nose for an hour straight. So
anyway, my fan club.
Welcome to the Eternal Baseball Podcast. It was a big week for Eternal Baseball in a couple ways. I love it when a player who doesn't play a whole lot has a big game and he becomes the player of the day. And you find out he's unbelievably popular in their fan community because we share it with fans or groups from that team online. And this week in Atlanta, Joe Torre catches most of the time. And in a pinch, Dale Murphy will give you a pretty bad couple innings defensively behind the plate, but you can squeeze them in. I mean, if you really want to just go nuts with Atlanta, who has plenty of good gloves in their lineup, you can put Murphy at catcher and Chipper at short and just pray. But this week, Javi Lopez got a start at catcher. A guy who I always thought was underappreciated in that Braves dynasty because he was consistent. He was great defensively, and I'm not sure how good his English was. I don't remember hearing him talk a whole lot, so that may have restrained the popularity a little bit. But let me tell you, not since Cody Bellinger, before everybody got mad at him for not being very good anymore, not since Cody Bellinger was player of the day did the ladies of Eternal Baseball rally for a guy like Javi Lopez this week.
Wow.
So, I mean, half of the people who liked those posts were liking them with hearts, and they were almost all female. And
big numbers, huh?
Yeah. So like wow. LL Cool J stands for Ladies Love Cool Hobby. And so good for you, Javi Lopez. The ladies still love you. And the Braves fans came out in force this week to support him.
I thought you were going to say Mark Lemke, but Javi Lopez makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't had to test that theory, but I think Javi Lopez is the lethal Lothario of the Atlanta
Southeast.
Braves. And the week before it was George Foster got a huge bump from the Cincinnati fans and somebody from Toronto. I forget if it might have been Barfield.
Olerud. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't Olerud. Yeah, but that's where he plays. Olerud's a hard guy to place because kind of like McGriff, he was a really good contributor for about an equal amount of time in a couple of places. So is Olerud Mariner, Blue Jay, or Met?
Pullman. I always put him in Pullman.
Fair enough. You ever been to Pullman?
I have never been to Pullman. Have you?
Yeah, just one time. We drove up for a soccer road trip, and it snowed 2 feet overnight. And we showed up at the field, and the Washington State guys are like, I don't know, boys. And we'd come up from Central Oregon Community College. We were going to play that game. And it started off serious, but like the first chip, the ball went. And within like 5 minutes, we were just seeing how long a ditch we could slide tackle. And the only guy taking it seriously was Tim Gates. Who played like last game of the World Cup?
Wait, did you like snow blow the lines at least?
Nothing.
Or? No,
there was just nothing. I think the refs didn't even show because they're like, there's no way. But I think the only reason the Washington State kids came was we had such a low budget that we had to arrange to stay at the Washington State players' houses. That was our board, so they couldn't not go because they had to get us to the field. So. It was a fine game.
So COCC scheduled Washington State.
Yeah, and Washington State wasn't it was like a club team.
Okay, gotcha.
It wasn't Pac-12 or anything like that. Like we never played anybody serious. We played Oregon once, but I don't think Oregon was certainly not. I don't know if they were Pac-12 in soccer.
No, probably not that era. I don't think the women even had a team back then.
But we tied U of O at home. They came to us, and we tied them, and it was phenomenal because they were not happy about tying COCC. But anyway, enough about my outstanding collegiate soccer career. And back to eternal baseball.
We'll divert that to another podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that another night. Maybe we'll have a soccer podcast. It'll be a good one.
That's gonna
it'll light up the phone lines.
It'll kill.
So for this week, it's a good matchup, actually. Two division leaders, Chicago White Sox at the Oakland A's. And the guy pitching for the White Sox is Big Ed Walsh, and he's ridiculous. He's 18-3 on the season. And we're a couple weeks from the All-Star break. So, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but he never comes out of a game. So he's gotten a decision in every start. And this guy, in his prime, which was like 1909, he literally started every third day. Like he had 400 inning seasons in his career. Like he was an absolute horse. So before, I know 18-3, 70 games into the season sounds ridiculous just for the amount of starts, but it's actually legit to what this guy did. So
there's money to be made if we can figure out that training regimen.
Dude, how much would that guy get paid now? Right,
every third day.
Every third day, right? Like, good Lord, you could put him with Ohtani, and he could pitch twice for every Ohtani start. It would be incredible. But
we're on to something, man.
Anyway, we'll get to see that. We'll tear that up here in a little bit. But one of the other bits that it's not why we picked the White Sox this week, but one of the players on their roster, Gary Peters, a major leaguer from the '60s, passed away this week at 85. And I didn't know much about him, so I looked him up. He was the Rookie of the Year as a 19-game winner in 1963, two-time All-Star, won the AL ERA, was AL ERA champ twice in his career, and his shining moment was in relief in the 1967 All-Star game, which was in Anaheim. He pitched 3 innings, gave up no hits, no runs, and struck out Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, Orlando Cepeda, and Dick Allen. So,
man,
for a guy who was not really a Hall of Fame candidate, but a guy who had a very good, not that long career, that's absolutely his, one.
That's where you just leave your mitt. Do you take your spikes off on the mound? Just walk off into the corn.
Strike out Willie Mays and beat him to the dugout, right? Like, thank you. So anyway, Peters is one of the better left-handers in White Sox history, but they're so deep that he doesn't always make their main roster. So that's how good Chicago can be, and they're doing real well in the AL North. So let me.
Rob has a good comment about Walsh.
Oh yeah, here we go. That's right, the ERA plus holding him back. So let me get the screen. We'll take a look here at the week it was. So a couple of interesting teams that were going in the opposite directions. The Braves, buoyed by our big win last week over Cincinnati, went on a 7-game win streak. So good for Atlanta. They're making some room right in their ship. Meanwhile, Tampa, who lost 17 straight games. And I watched a couple of them, and Tampa has a tough road to hoe. They don't have a lot of talent to pull from because they're so young. But now they've won 4 of 5. So look out. I don't know if that's the dead cat bounce or if Tampa's actually coming back. But Evan Longoria was a player in the day-to-day as Tampa's coming up off the deck. So anyway, the week that was, you're out here, we're looking at week 11. And your shining stars are Atlanta, 5-1. They did have their win streak snapped today by the Phillies. This is another good matchup, 2 division leaders. And I had a Philly fan today when I posted Jimmy Rollins as our NL player of the day. And on a Philadelphia Phillies board, he was like, I don't know if you know, it's NFC title game today. And you're talking baseball. And I'm like, look, man, it's always baseball season, right? Thanks to us. And I said, I just think, obviously, Jimmy Rollins was energized for that big Eagles game today. So good for Philly on 2 levels. And then the Yankees are extraordinarily good. Their 3rd straight 5-1 week. And this is with Mantle having a terrible year. Ruth and Gehrig are okay. DiMaggio is very good, but the pitching is better in New York than even their title team last year. So we'll see how that shakes out. The rough weeks belong to your Colorado Rockies at 1-5. The Royals are missing like 5 players. George Brett went down this week for 3 weeks with a knee injury, and unabashedly pulling for Kansas City to make that AL South at least a chicken fight, if not a dog fight, down the road. And then also for the Washington Nationals, who started off pretty good and then hit a 1-5 bump last week, but 3-3 this week. I'd love to see the Nats crack 500 because they haven't yet. And no team has a tougher road to hoe than the Washington Nationals. So Mets had a tough week. And the Mets are never as good as I expect them to be. Angels also 1-5. So, and we'd be remiss not to congratulate Scott Rowland for getting elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Very cool.
A guy who was a good bat, but just an outstanding defensive third baseman. And it's kind of cool that he's going in with McGriff, like Oler we talked about, because Rowland is one of those guys who I think would have had more groundswell behind him. But he was in Philly for, 5 years, and then St. Louis for 6, and Cincinnati for a couple, and Toronto for a couple. And yeah, you don't usually see Hall of Famers bounce around that much. Certainly not in their prime, right? The fact that he got out of Philly at like 27 or 28. Maybe that's the norm now with the Machados and the Harpers and such. But I was kind of happy. I was happy to see him get in.
Yeah.
I don't like years when there's only one or no guys. When nobody gets in, that's kind of rough. So I was happy to see that. I don't mind the guy who was gloved first, as long as you can still hit some.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd have to have that, massively high threshold for the Hall. If you don't do that, throw a couple in every year.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
I used to be a small Hall guy, and the basic idea was just the idea that if you have to think about it, if you have to think about whether a guy belongs, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, but the Veterans Committee's let so many guys in, it kind of lowered the bar. And it's a shame to say that Harold Baines is kind of the poster child for that. But if Baines is the Hall of Famer, how is Scott Rowland or Fred McGriff not?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. So.
Yeah, I think it's that's where it is. So, and I'm never mad when a guy makes the Hall of Fame, right? Now, I still feel for guys who probably deserve another look. Dale Murphy, Andre Jones, 2 of them. But I'm never mad that somebody else's guy got in. And I went to the enshrinement ceremony when Ricky Henderson went in, my favorite player. And everybody there was in such a good mood, right? Because anybody who made that town, because Cooperstown's not close to anything, anybody who made that trip was there because one of their heroes was finally getting his due, right? So it's a cool place, and it was one of the coolest bits of my life. I won a bet too with the guy I went with on how many times Ricky would refer to himself in the third person.
What was the over under?
We said 15, and I took the under. And how many times did he do it? Not once.
Really?
I'm sure somebody wrote it for him. Just because that's his proclivity. It's to talk about Ricky this and Ricky that, but not one time did he refer to himself as Ricky. So, big win that day for me.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have just interjected that for a laugh every now and again.
But. Yeah, you would think it's the payoff line, right? So now we can all be happy that Ricky is the Hall of Famer. Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't close with it. Nothing.
Interesting. Good speech though.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. So. And I was there, I think it was the same weekend when Jim Rice went in. And Rice is another one of those kind of borderline Hall of Famers. And as a Yankee fan, I went there kind of anti-Rice, like he didn't belong with the rest of them. But once you got there and you're surrounded by happy Red Sox fans in their Rice jerseys, you're like, am I really going to pick a fight about how your guy shouldn't be here? Come on. So, anyway, that's the week it was in internal baseball. And a quick look at the standings here. You've still got San Francisco ruling the West as usual. The Cubs have come back to earth a little bit, but they're still the best team in the National League. Atlanta's starting to put some distance between themselves and Miami. Philly's really good, but Montreal's not bad. Still in striking distance and certainly
hanging around.
In play for that wild card.
Dude, the
Oakland,
Mets, though. What is going on with the Mets?
Yeah, it's just Seaver's not very good this year, and it happens. And DeGrom's okay. Gooden's quite good. But like two of their 3 Chimera guys, pitching wise, are not as good as you'd expect. And the hitting has been awful.
Tim Tuffle having it down here.
I called up Lenny Dykstra And he was
Oh,
in
nice.
control. So
There you go.
everybody liked Met Dykstra. It was Philly Dykstra that got a little off the rails, and post Philly Dykstra that's a bit of a train wreck. I love Dykstra as a Met, right?
Good investing advice, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Get into crypto. Him and Jake Paul can help you out with that. So Oakland's really good. Chicago's good, but Cleveland's right on their heels, and Detroit's not bad either. This is probably the AL North, probably our best division this year. Birmingham, like we said, we're going to be bad forever, so they're putting some distance between them and Kansas City. But they're still 30 and 35. They are not the walking Terminator that they've been in season 1 and season 2. The Yankees are really good. But Baltimore's quite good too, and Boston's not bad. So the addition of the wild card, I think, is going to pay some immediate dividends right away because there are some really good teams. Montreal, Baltimore, St. Louis is pretty good. Cleveland, that are not going to get shut out of the postseason, whether they take over their division lead or just get a wild card. Either way, we're going to have more good teams in the playoffs, and hey, who doesn't want that?
Rob has a comment about. I'm assuming he's talking Dykstra, but maybe I don't know. I don't know Tim Tuffel's background. But.
Yeah, or it might be Rob. We'll see how quick he comments tonight. So here we go. We're going to hop over to the schedule. And I do like that it's White Sox at A's because, as stated, Ricky Henderson is my favorite modern ball player.
Yeah.
Anytime I get to have Ricky Henderson and let Brent be the offensive coordinator, I know it's going to be a good day.
Anytime you can have you can play a game in the Oakland Coliseum, I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah. So
best stadium in the league.
Oh, and I actually I searched hard to find a good picture for the Oakland Coliseum because the one I had before was pretty rotten. So we got a brand new look. I think you're going to like it. So
as long as there's 2 or 3 drunks falling down and from the cheap seats.
Even in Eternal Baseball, we tarped off the upper deck.
I watched a couple games from that tarped off section, and man, you get about the 7th inning, and those drunks start going down.
I've only been to one game here. It was one of my first games, and it was in the second deck of left field. And I thought it was Herbeck who homered at me, but I actually looked it up, and it was Gaetti. Gaetti hit a bomb that hit the guy. The guy to the left of me tried to barehand it and jammed his ring finger like a cash register. And then it rolled around forever. And of course, I had a glove, but I was too nice a kid to reach over in front of the guy and try to make a play for it. So
yeah, you should have. You probably had to go to the ER and get that thing cut off, right?
It was bad, yeah. So, and I thought it was Herbeck all these years, but I guess it was Gaetti. So, we're facing, good Lord, big Ed Walsh, 18-3 with a 1.37.
Lordy.
So, no worries.
Bullet Joe Bush. What a great name that is.
Yeah. Oh, and I gotta get the replay stats up because those are the real stats. But Vida Blue's been really good for Oakland. So that's our guy.
Excellent.
And Mark McGuire has been atrocious this year.
Really?
And Jose Canseco's hurt. So there's
no Bash Brothers?
Where the Bash Brothers are. That's kind of it. So sorting by OPS versus right-handers. I'm just going to start with the guy.
I'm going to grab I trust your judgment here, Mark. Okay. I'm going to grab my other glasses.
All right. So I'll load us up here. I like to go right to lefty, right to lefty.
Okay. Rob wanted to, he's Dykstra. Rob was saying it's the.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Oh, and
you're right.
It's all cleaned up in Eternal.
You got to send me this photo. I'll Photoshop a couple drunks tripping for the next one. Yeah. Okay. Be right back.
Sewage. Yeah. All right. So we got Ricky. Matt Stairs has actually been incredible because Reggie Jackson hasn't been. So we'll put him second, and it'll make Jimmy Fox third, and then Jason Giambi. Unfortunately, probably playing first base. We'll see. Fox plays a bad third, but he can also DH. So it'll be Giambi, and then Al Simmons, and then Mickey Cochran behind the plate. Simmons plays left, and Ricky plays a subpar center field. Bob Johnson is an incredible player from the Philadelphia A's days, and he'll handle second base. Jimmy Dykes will be our shortstop, not Campy. And just out of respect for Sal Bando, the captain who passed this week, he'll be our third baseman. So that puts Dykes at short, and Fox will play first, John the DHs. So there you go. A lot of Philadelphia A's in there, but Matt Stairs making a surprise appearance. He was really good just for that spike.
Yeah.
Oakland. That's how he makes it. So
draw some walks.
I realize we're going to play with an A's game without Reggie Jackson or Mark McGuire or Jose Canseco. But
you're the one who has to deal with the blowback. So
yeah. And I gave Sal Bando a start at third out of respect for the captain who passed away more than a week ago. So
love it.
With that,
I'm going to check Amazon. See if they have any reading monocles. Maybe I'll surprise one.
It promises to be a battle between two solid teams. Ed Walsh gets the start for Chicago. He's made 21 starts on the year and is 18-3 with an earned run average of 1.60. His second start against Oakland. He's 1-0 with a 135 earned run average against Oakland. He'll be opposed by Vida Blue for Oakland. He's made 2 starts on the year and is 1-3 with an earned run average of 2.63. His first start against Chicago, it's 56 degrees, wind speed 6 miles per hour, in from left field. Pitching for Oakland, Vida Blue. Leading off for Chicago, shortstop, Luke Appling.
Got a couple comments, yeah.
Reggie's having a terrible year, by the way. Sun Devil, just saying.
Jimmy Fox fan, I like it.
There we go. So anyway,
play ball.
I can help you out here, Rono, if it matters here. We can go nuts with it. Brandon.
There we go.
That better?
That's better. That's more my style at this
Luke,
point. Yeah.
Hey, Luke, hit them where they ate. All right, hang on. We wouldn't move too far with that.
You're playing Mario World with the mushrooms.
That's too big. Sal Bando's covering. He was a good defender, but he's covering from the wall.
Look at that mustache on Bando.
Yeah, he's a badass. All right, we'll go one down here. And then we should be right where we need to be. All right. So here we go. I suppose, just for respect, since they pronounce it
Vida.
Vida. Vida.
Vida.
Well done. First try.
First try, fixed forever. All right, here we go. Vida Blue. Ricky plays center for Oakland because they don't really have a legendary
second baseman,
fielder.
Ray Durham.
But he's not good there, which is true to real life. So
no, Eric Burns? No, Eric Burns.
Oh yeah, remember that guy? He was maybe the first influencer. better online than on the field. Here's Ray Durham. Good player, good bunter. But Jimmy Fox is up to task. Fox is just happy with his
center fielder,
third.
Shoeless Joe
He's
Jackson.
A terrible third baseman, but that's where he gets a lot of his at bats.
Rob's got a comment about it.
Yeah, it's probably true. Weld heads. Careful with that. Shoeless Joe Jackson. Doing Shoeless Joe things. Legging out that
left
double.
Fielder, number 9, Minnie Minoso.
There you go.
Pitching for Chicago, Ed Walsh.
They rate
leading
Ricky
off for Oakland,
as an
center fielder,
good bunter,
number 24,
and
Ricky
he really
Henderson.
wasn't. Like, he did not bunt very often. So
well, I think I always got the sense he got caught up in the leadoff homer kind of buzz. So that was my impression, is that he probably could have been a more.
Look that up. Like, in the right situation, could he? Maybe. But it was one of my favorite bits when Dave Winfield was almost done with the Blue Jays. He came up I think it was the World Series with runners on first and second, nobody out, and they were down 1, I think. And they gave him the bunt sign. And like, I don't know if he even knew what the bunt sign was.
He's like, I don't look at the third base coach.
Dave, 6'8", Dave Winfield, right? Or 6'7", whatever. And they said it was after, because he dropped down a perfect sacrifice bunt, got thrown out at first, moved the runners over. Next guy singled, they took the lead, or something like that. And they looked it up, and they're like, Winfield hasn't bunted in 15 years. But for a guy who was drafted in football and basketball too, it was a pitcher in college. Hell of an athlete.
Yes.
15 years. They're like, hey, this. He's like, gotcha, Skip, no problem. Bing. So I don't think we're bunting Ricky here.
Oh, John wants a cool. Let's see. Lineups are my favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, yeah,
you
we
know
can
what?
make more of a point on that.
He totally makes sense. That is an oversight because we let the computer pick the because it just seems hinky if we're picking the lineup of the team we're going to play. But yeah, over here we've got Luke Appling at shortstop, Ray Durham, switch hitter at second base, shoeless Joe Jackson in center field, Minnie Minoso in left, Ray Ordonez in right field. Shoot, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the current Tim Anderson at designated hitter? This is Frank Thomas is having a terrible year.
Wow.
That's the only reason you're not seeing Frank here. Carlos Lee at first base, Robin Ventura at third, and Sherm Lawler, I hope I said that right, at catcher, because Fisk has been rough. So
I always thought Ordonez was underrated.
yeah, I did too, and he was player of the day a while ago. And I got some flack from White Sox fans who were mad at him, not that he left, but that he left and stayed in division.
Yeah.
Went to Detroit and punished them for the next 7-8 years. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Also, Carlos Lee, really good player. And
that's true.
Nobody thinks of him. It's like Aramis Ramirez is like that for the Cubs.
Yeah.
And his peak was ridiculous. But anyway. So with the infield in, here comes Ricky. Run, Ricky, run!
Oh, he's there.
No,
he's not there.
No.
Right fielder, Matt.
But
Steers.
anyway, John, we appreciate that tip. We'll try to make sure we do that more often. Eddie Collins is a White Sox, and he's a really good hitter, but he's a rotten defender. I think he's rated as a 3 at second base. So they're going with the Durham glove and the switch hittingness of Ray Durham. We can probably actually find out if we look at replay stats. Batting for the White Sox, batting against right-handers. Where is
or against lefty, right?
Oh, here we go. Switch it. Here we go. Collins is hitting 232 against righties. So great player. He's actually inactive for tonight's game, but he has a decent amount of at-bats this year. He does see some time. Has seen some time, but has struggled for the White Sox so far. So good question, because he's a Hall of Famer. And, you know, it's not like Ray Durham has to be in the lineup, but he is tonight.
Rob has the explanation for.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know what? She'll like it too. Here's Matt Stairs with his earring. Look at that.
Wow, did he make it?
Oh!
First baseman, Jimmy.
The happiest guy in the
Fox.
stadium that he's out is Ricky Henderson. Because if Matt Stairs likes it out.
I was going to say, that's pretty good hustle for Matt Stairs.
All right, here's Jimmy Fox.
There we go. Good.
The two famous
Right
lines
fielder,
of Jimmy Fox.
Maglio, Ordonez.
Somebody once said, I forget who, that he wasn't scouted. He was found in a trap. And when they had the moon landing, I think it was Lefty Grove said, "You know what they found on the moon? One of the balls I pitched to Jimmy Fox." Here's Maglio Ordonez.
Designated hitter, number 7, Tim Anderson.
He's going to beat that out. Oh, Dykes boots it.
First baseman, Carlos Lee.
Shortstop is a bit of a revolving door. They have candidates between Jimmy Dykes and Miguel Tejada. And there's one other guy, and it's not Campaneris, which drives A's fans crazy. Because Campaneris is their best shortstop ever. And he had a long, distinguished career, but he did not have a peak that matches any of these other guys. And we're looking at the best players of all time at their best. And at their best, the other Oakland shortstops have a bit of an edge over Bert Campaneris. Carlos Lee steps in, and Tim Anderson's running.
Ooh, got him.
Designated hitter,
Double them
Jason.
off.
Nice.
Here's Jason Giambi. It sounded good, but
Left
Matt
fielder,
knows how.
Al Simmons.
Al Simmons is an incredible ball player. If you've never heard of him, absolute one of the first Hall of Famers, and he's having a great season this year too. Just not right there.
Catcher, Mickey.
And that photo of Ed Walsh, man, he's just all business.
Yeah. Ed Walsh likes practical jokes and whistling.
Lighthearted banter.
Right? Big whoopee cushion enthusiast, that Ed Walsh. Mickey Cochran and both ears step in. Mickey Cochran looks like Mickey Mouse. Them ears.
Third baseman, Robin
Just
Ventura.
a couple more comments. I don't.
Oh, who am I
Let's
missing
see
here?
here.
Yep, you bet, John. Appreciate the heads up. Yeah, absolutely. Bucket Foot Al. Not the best nickname ever.
Was that his nickname?
I guess so. I didn't know that. Bucket Foot Al Simmons.
Huh.
I do want to point out the respect shown to Robin Ventura here, that we got rid of him getting assaulted by a senior citizen as his image, because Nolan Ryan was making a cameo appearance for a long time. Oh man, it was such a setup. I couldn't believe it. We had just replaced Fred McGriff's photo from the Tom Amansky video with an actual photo of him in a Braves hat, looking like a badass, actually. And online this week, when they announced Roland was getting in, somebody said, "Hey, don't forget McGriff." And the guy said, "I wonder what hat McGriff's going to wear in the Hall of Fame." I don't even have to search this up. I already have this. There he is doing the Palmero.
Palmero.
Blue mesh, white logo, screen printed T-shirt plus trucker hat.
You can just imagine whoever bought that merchandise for the Amansky kid, like, just went into that embroidery shop, is like, yeah, what's your cheapest one?
Yeah.
I'll take that trucker.
Like, it's half price if you get 3. Nah. Not good. Yeah, throw that ball into the trash can, right? Tom Amansky. Anyway, Robin Ventura steps in. Pride of Oklahoma State.
Catcher,
Golden Spike
Sherm
Award winner.
Lawler.
Here's Sherm. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Robin Ventura. Luke Appling steps in.
Strike 3.
Sits
Second
down.
baseman, Bob Johnson.
Now, just because Ed Walsh is the terror of the entire league, I think it makes sense for us to be a little more aggressive on the base paths. And I shudder to think what that looks like when you get more aggressive on the base paths.
Well, we need a base runner. That's
that would be nice.
It puts a damper on things. When I
Shortstop, Jimmy
can only
Dykes.
bunt for a hit.
We are getting no hit.
Strike 3.
Third baseman, Sal Bando.
Come on, Sal.
If we could even make contact, that'd be
Right?
perfect. Yeah.
Run, Sal, run.
Oh, he's there. Get there.
Poot.
Almost safe 3 times.
Almost. We almost had a base runner.
Durham's a hell of a bunter, so we're going to bring the corners in here. Jimmy Fox bobbles it, but plenty of time. I do want to point out that when pitchers, they call them pillow contracts these days, when a guy doesn't get the long-term deal he expected in free agency, the 2 places they normally like to go for a 1-year stay to help put up a good year, get that ERA down, is San Diego, because it's gorgeous. And there's a lot of foul ground in San Diego. But there ain't nothing like the foul ground in Oakland. Look at this legit football field that they are absolutely killing it on. Like, I can't even fathom how many extra outs you get a year starting games in Oakland here. I mean, I know it's only half your starts, right? But good Lord. Shoeless Joe steps in. He's a good bunter too, but only 1 out. So I think we're good. Man.
Oh, man, he's killing us.
He's wearing us out.
You do not test Matt Stairs.
Right? He's in there. With a 1-out triple. You would think Shoeless Joe would be happier because we're the only guys who've had an olive branch for Shoeless Joe Jackson in about 100 years. But good.
He's smiling down from somewhere.
He's pretty happy. Here's Minnie Minoso. Who's going to get that run home?
Not on Matt Stairs. 2% chance. Oh.
We don't even get the option, right?
Give us something.
1-0 White Sox, which is probably enough. Sad to say. All right, Ricky leading off.
Hey, this is all your decision, man. I'm deferring to you on Ricky Henderson.
Normally, I wouldn't bunt Henderson, but against Ed Walsh, I totally will. Leading off with nobody out. Run, Ricky, run.
Oh, he's there.
He's so late.
I'm not sure he was in the baseline, but he's there.
Oh, they're reviewing it. Oh, safe. Ricky's 94%.
I mean, that's a given.
Off he goes. Beep, beep. Oh! No! It's NBA Jam.
Sherm Lawler.
Man, that's just rotten. That stair is not straight up in the air. It's too high. Jimmy Fox. I'm still mad about that Ricky thing, but.
Ooh, that's got a chance, huh?
He's got quite a bit. Shoeless Joe. No big deal. Tim Anderson steps in. Ooh, close. Got him. Carlos Lee. Yeah.
Rob was impressed too.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Rob Ventura. Oh, Vida Blue starting to show some cracks. As Sherm Lawler, my new least favorite player, steps in and lashes a single, a double.
Oh, they got him a second though. Oh no.
No, they didn't get him. And a run score. Sherm Lawler is just dancing.
It's slipping away, Webb. It's
took
slipping
second
away.
on Ricky's arm too. Ooh.
It's just, the amount of disrespect.
Right. For all we know, Sherm Lawler might have been the baddest trash talker in his day, right? He might be dabbing on second and saying, we knew Sherm was going to hit that double, and we knew Sherm was going to throw out Ricky.
Yeah,
that's how Sherm plays the game.
He was known as the Sean Dunston of his era.
He had aquarium shoes and a big brim hat, and Jason Giambi. We could use a long ball, Jason. That's it.
That's it. He's there.
Run, Jason.
He's safe.
Yes. Finally. I just realized we bunted to break up a no-hitter.
That's early.
It's third inning, I think. Fourth inning. All right. Giambi's not running. Al Simmons lashes one into the corner on your horse.
Send him.
Slide, Giambi, slide. The Giambi boys don't always slide.
Oh, he made it.
Al Simmons going for three.
Point. Whoa. Okay.
We're on the board.
Hey, we got a game.
2-1 Chicago. Mickey Cochran steps in with nobody out. Runner on third.
Cochran looks like he's up to no good in that photo.
I can't get past the ears.
Look at me. Looks mischievous. Wait, did he get hit? What happened there?
He walked.
Okay.
Yep, he walked. Here's Bob Johnson, poet and a prophet. Double play or safe chance at home, 91%. Yeah.
I think you got to send him.
And we break up the double play.
Rob's along with the NBA Jam bit.
Jimmy Dykes steps in.
Got a good sound system in the Coliseum. Must have upgraded.
I was just respecting the trumpet there, right? Here's Jimmy Dykes.
Yeah, they actually have enough real estate. They could run some horses around that.
There's an echo. Jimmy Dykes flies out, and Sal Bando steps in. Come on, Sal. I think they got Bob Johnson picked up. Yep. We weren't even sending him.
Bob Johnson, come on.
Man. All right, well, I'm not letting Durham bunt his way on. Oakland doesn't have much in the way of relief pitching for depth. Catfish Hunter, actually, is their long guy, and he's pretty good. But the 8th and 9th are owned
Lockdown.
by Raleigh Fingers and Dennis Eckersley.
Heck
So
yeah.
this is a 7-inning game if we play it right. Meanwhile, tied up 2-2. As pain in the ass, shoeless Joe Jackson steps in.
Jeez.
I'll take it.
Oh, wow. Oh, I got it.
I'll take it. Minnie Melso with 2 down.
Vida Blue field this position.
Looking nice. Sal Bando leading it off.
Strike 3.
Yeah. But that brings up my guy, Ricky. Come on, Ricky.
Strike 3.
Oh, tough day to be Ricky. Matt Stairs, however,
There you go.
is rock solid market-wise.
Send him.
Yeah, right. 43%.
It's higher than I thought it was going to be.
They wouldn't expect it, but
I don't. He actually may have been very fast in his early day. I just know him as sort of the barrel-chested
yeah,
DH phase.
yeah. He kind of looked like that fan, the Broncos fan who wore the barrel. A little bit like he just pulled the jersey over there. But we're going to let Jimmy Fox hit.
He always kind of struck me as sort of like the stand-in, just to see it for Giambi. Like after after the Yankees sign him, if they could just slide him in there.
Yeah, maybe nobody will notice. Oh, look at that!
Hey.
Yes.
Oh man,
The thing that got me about Stairs looking up photos from his A's days. He's this dude. Fair ball. Oh, it's a fair ball. They challenged it just right down the line. Looking up photos of Stairs, and I was finding because he bounced around a lot in his career, but had that good, solid couple of years in Oakland. But he got there at like 33, I think. And he's this big dude, and he's got kind of the sort of half golden mullet going. And then he just has this gigantic diamond earring in one. And I don't care if guys wear earring. I have no problem with it. Barry Bonds would look weird without his signature earring, right?
Yeah.
But on Stairs, maybe it was just so big. It just, I don't know.
It's kind of like John Daly.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Jason Giambi. It's a pretty boring fly out. All right. And we're back over here. So Vida Blue's doing fine. 76 pitches.
One more inning, huh?
If he can get through this, I got no problem.
Which order are you doing, though? Going Eck?
It's always the computer does it fingers, then Eckers.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, who am I to argue with tradition?
Yeah, I'm not going to rock the boat on that.
So Vida Blue, see if he can get through 7 here. Against a really good White Sox team.
Whoa.
Oh, he should have thrown it to Fox. Oh, we can challenge it, and we definitely will.
Yeah.
He's out.
Nice. Look at that athleticism by Blue.
And the replay has favored us all 3 times today. I'm glad somebody's helping us.
About time.
Right? Carlos Lee steps in and sits down. Oh, I'm so excited. Nobody beats Ed Walsh. And we did it with no help from Ricky or Reggie.
We're getting a little confident.
We're getting a little overconfident. Yeah, I think Oakland's long relief combo is Catfish Hunter and Barry Zito.
I was going to say, got to be Zito in there somewhere, right?
And it's easy to think of Zito and remember how his career faded out with the Giants, but man, that 3-headed monster with him and Mulder and Tim Hudson.
Ooh,
that was no joke. That was one of the things that bothered me about the Moneyball movie that they made about the A's just becoming great that year.
Yeah.
At one point, Brad Pitt as Billy Bean walks by and pats the guy on the shoulder and goes, "How you doing, Hud?" And that's the only reference to those 3 guys at all. And, and that was the engine of that A's team. But
I will say, though, I am unapologetically a fan of that movie. Really good flick. Every time, I will sit there on YouTube, and if it cycles through the sidebar, it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm watching that 5-minute clip.
Yep. Yeah, there's a great. I love the bit with David Justice when he's being kind of arrogant a little bit, and he's like, "I know you're paying me $7 million to be here," and Bean goes, "Yeah, or you can look at it like the Yanks are paying you $5 million not to be there." Ooh. That's a little sharp. Al Simmons, bucket foot Al steps in. So we're not going to bunt him.
Nothing gets by Ordonez.
Apparently not. Mickey Cochran. Oh, hang on. With 2 down, I almost forgot to get my bullpen going. Mr. Fingers, get that mustache waxed. And there we go. All right, so yeah, and actually right on time as there's oh no, I forget Fingers is a righty. Anyway, I got no problem going here.
Yeah,
even though mine is rolling, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do one more.
Pitching for Oakland, Raleigh, Fingers.
No offense to Salbando, but we got Matt Chapman on the bench, and not for long, because he's a 10 defensively, and there aren't many of those in the game. So I am all over the defensive replacement there. So
no
Matt
brainer.
Chapman, come on in. And Rob Ventura, what do you got? Oh no!
It's all right. We've got one buffer run.
It was so fast though. Usually it kind of pulls apart slow.
I can't think of Ventura though without his rookie card, the USA baseball rookie card. That's what I always think of.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Nice hit though.
Sherman Lawler.
Man, that was a bomb.
It totally was. Now I'm going to make an executive decision here just to take a look. Sherman Lawler ain't nothing special truly with the bat. So we're going to take over the White Sox here for a second. Just take a peek at their guys with OPS versus right-handers. And I'm thinking instead of, well, Lawler's not bad, but I'm thinking Jose Abreu here in the bottom of the 8th, down 1.
Who's their backup catcher, though?
It is, that's right. I got to make sure they don't have one active today. That's a problem. The computer does this sometimes. Between Fisk and Schalk, they don't have one active. So good catch, bro, because they ain't got no backup.
Right, Rob.
Hold on a second. Let me give control back. Yeah, that's a good point. It was only 1 hit, though. Ryan got in like 4 or 5. All right, so Sherman Lawler gets the hit. We'll see if he does his job. I'm going to see if I can tweak. There has to be a league-wide rule or something I can make to make sure every team has 2 catchers active for every game. Because nobody ever wouldn't, right? Because if your catcher gets hurt, what are you going to do? So
you throw Ed Walsh in,
I guess, or Isaiah Kiner Falefa.
Yeah.
Luke Appling steps in. Not a good.
Did he re-sign with the Yankees? I can't.
He's still under contract.
Oh, he had a year.
One last year, so
Gotcha.
they're shopping him apparently. So.
Oh man.
Al Simmons is all over that. There we go.
Sure looked like he might be tagging there for a second.
Right.
I was watching that intently.
Feeling frisky. Here's you know what? They're not going to bat right. Let's see if they have any other second baseman before I get frisky here. Because the aforementioned Collins is not active today. Do they have anybody else who plays second base? Yeah, that would be Alexei Ramirez way down there at the bottom.
Yeah, probably not your pinch hit candidate.
No, but I think you would pinch hit Abreu here.
Oh, gotcha.
I just want to make sure they have backup because I almost didn't check that, and you caught me on that, and thank God. So we're taking over Chicago here simply to make this sub. Prime Jose Abreu, I'll take that over Prime Ray Durham, down 1.
Pinch hitting for Chicago, number 79, Jose Abreu.
Chicago gets control back, and here we go.
Got it. Get it?
He has the option to dive. 45% chance to make this catch. 1 out, runner on first.
It's Al Simmons. I think you take the chance. Coin flip? What do you say?
Sometimes if they dive, it just means they miss it and it's a single. Sometimes
I don't think Sherman Lawler's got the speed to maybe
score on
does.
it. All right. He makes
Yes.
the catch. Bucket foot. Geez, and here's Shoeless Joe, just what I don't want to see.
Strike 3.
Oh, he strikes out.
Okay. Here we go. Ed Walsh is like, I'm just going the distance here.
Walsh is mad. Well, similarly, Jimmy Dykes is okay. The best shortstop against righties so far, but let's see. Well, there's nobody better than him, OPS-wise, against righties. But the OPS is pretty sad, 631.
Why don't we put Reggie in? Let's just do it.
You can get Reggie a pinch hit. You can do it here because you're not going to do it for Chapman because you've got to have him for his
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I gotta get Reggie.
It's going to be anywhere. It's going to be here.
If we're going to strike, if someone's going to strike out, let it be Reggie Jackson.
Pinch hitting for Oakland.
Do you think of
number
Reggie
44,
as
Reggie Jackson?
Reggie Jackson? What hats he wear? If I just say Reggie Jackson,
I think Ace, but I know a lot of people Yankees, right? Like,
yeah, and a lot of Naked Gun fans think Angels. But the correct answer is Sun Devils.
his those shades he wore some of those years, and it's so amazing.
Yeah, like can I get the Aviators and Triple XL, please? Yeah. All right, so here's Reggie.
Strike 3.
That's right. We needed a good Reggie Jackson whiff.
He really was the first two true outcomes.
But the beauty of it is the minute he struck out there, you could picture him on one knee on the ground, right, having missed that curveball.
Yeah, legs all bent, and he had the ugliest strikeout. He really did, and he practiced it a lot.
Strike 3.
Oh, Chapman.
Oh, Walsh.
All right, well.
Here we go.
Hold on, I gotta get the act ready.
Up to you, man. Gonna bunt? Are you thinking bunt?
Yeah, I am thinking bunt. You know what? Nah. Let's have him swing. Run, Ricky Gray. Bunted anyway.
Man, he's there.
Oh!
Challenge that.
Left-handed Ricky would have faced twice today.
There you go.
All right, so it's actually X time.
And we need our shortstop.
Pitching for Oakland, Dennis Eckersley.
I think it's Tejada. I think he's got the best glove. Yeah, by far. He's an 8. Which sounds generous, as I recall. But
yeah, a little bit, huh?
Fine, we'll take it. It's an our advantage. So Tejada at short. Pretty tight on that left side.
Terry Stein. I can't believe we didn't get Terry Steinbach in the game.
Right? I remember when he made the All-Star team because the AL squad was dreadful. And he was not real good that year.
It was like 220.
Yeah, but Oakland was good. And I was just complaining the whole time, right? And then he homered off Gooden, I think,
okay.
In the game. Never mind. Forget I was here. Here's Minnie Minoso. Oh, giving it a ride. But Al's coming in. You like it. Maglio.
Rob said we have to drop an email and just double check.
You would think, right? But fine. Maglio Ordonez. Oh,
he's got it. He's good. Oh, he's maybe
over his head, off the wall.
Oh, Lordy.
Double.
All
right. Tim Anderson.
He's got Anderson.
204 on the
year. X got this.
All right. One down. Ricky looks like he has a bead on it. And he actually catches it, so that's good.
Who we got?
Carlos Lee.
All right.
With Ventura behind him. Runner on second. 2 down. 4-3 ball game.
Uh-oh.
Dribbling Jimmy Fox, who takes it to the bag. And I hate to say it, Big Ed Walsh, but not in our house, baby. Not in our house.
The final score from Oco Coliseum, Oakland 4, Chicago 3, Vida Blue picks up the win. He is now 2-3 on the season. Ed Walsh is the loser. He is now 18-4 on the season. Dennis Eckersley gets the save. Number 8, Robin Ventura hit home run number 3 on the season. Jimmy Fox hit number 15. Time of the game, 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Dramatic pause. We kind of put it to Ed Walsh. 4 earned in 8 innings.
I was a little worried through 4, but yeah, we turned it around.
Oh, and look, Eck had the dreaded double minus rating for stuff.
Wow.
He was ready to flame out on us and did not. So look at Look at maybe Fingers is starting to push for that. Well, he gave up the homer, but Jesus, Bradley Fingers has a .87 ERA so far. So
legit.
And I hate to say it, a better mustache. So, but player of the game is Jimmy Fox, the double X, as stated earlier. What was it? He was 1 for 3, but he did knock in 2 with a home run. So, all right, good for you, Jimmy Fox. So, hey, we don't always win, and we don't always beat the likely Cy Young Award winner. So,
under an hour too. Look at us, man.
Yeah, and Oakland ended up sweeping that series, so off a pretty good White Sox team. So, good for Oakland, good for us. We hope it was good for you too. We do the Eternal Baseball podcast every Sunday night. And you can also, there's lots of ways to stay involved. You can be at our homepage. It's really the best place, eternalbaseball.com. We have individual message boards for each of our teams where we post the box scores every day and the league leaders once a week. We've also got the Eternal Baseball newsletter, which is totally free. It goes out on Friday afternoons. You can sign up for that. That has exclusive stories, stats, little behind the scenes action from Eternal Baseball. That goes out Fridays. Sign up at the website. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. We're bad. We're nationwide. It's not hard to connect with Eternal Baseball. So we appreciate you making time for us tonight. Roto, always good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you? Thanks, everyone.
And thanks for the folks who joined us live. You can like us. You can subscribe. All sorts of ways to support the brand. We love you. Thanks for coming out. Have a great night. And we will see you next week for another edition of the Eternal Baseball Podcast.